八神さん。
よ。
お。ありがとうございました。
え？しばらく寝とけっての。
楽しかったでござるよ。やがり
加減にしろよ。
八神ごはん。お
ったく時間食っちゃったよ。
いらっしゃいませ。
こりゃうまい。
ありがとうございました。
まったくもったくいい加減にしろよ。
This is what I've been looking for. Like, I was wondering why the EX gauge was not going, like, this takes fucking forever. There's one. This one, get an extra dice roll when playing dice and games. Ugh, gotta wait.
お、八神です。
They always run.
ちょっと待てよ。
Is he throwing pop cans at me? Like, where's he getting these? Oh, damn it. What? I should have had him. I should have had him by now. There we go. Give it up already. Akeamero. Damn it. Ageamero. It'd also be nice if they added in him, like, he would be a key witness to a lot of people. I mean, a key witness in, like, court and stuff to a lot of these crimes. Like, have him come in and, like, do stuff on the court, on the stand and stuff like that. But that'd be a cool additive. So it was 1,000 in the end. $30. Sorry, people. Oh, it is noticeably, dude. It is noticeably faster for the EX gauge now. It is so noticeably faster. It's like I feel like I'm totally drunk. Like it's as fast. It goes as fast as I'm drunk, like level 8 drunk. So, and that's just the second stage. It's like at the next bonus, I'll be like even faster. More speed. Give me more speed. Oh, I should have been over here a whole bunch. I should have done stuff. Ah, fuck it.
Hattoriさん。
ああ、これはどうも八神さん。
あんたもしかして記事の写真スマホで撮ってる？
ええ、十分高画質ですからね。いけませんか？
いや別に。グルメレポーターにでもなるの？
私は興味があることは何でも徹底的に取材する主義なので。
まだ結構かかるのか？こっちの用は分かってんだろ？
すぐ終わりますよ。これで終わりました。どうもわざわざご足労いただきまして。不思議なもんです。あなたと差し向かいでラーメンとは。まさかこんな日が来るなんてね。
そういうのいいから。
落ち着きませんね、八神さん。
あんた今も梶平の会長とはやりとりを？
やりとりってほどのことは、向こうが呼びたい時に私を呼びつけるだけです。 まあ記者としては仲良くしときたい相手ですしね。せいぜい利用させてもらいます。
へえ。
八神さんとも仲良くやりたいんですよ。だってほら、この間殺された新谷先生、あなたが第一発見者だったとか。
今日はアドデック9を解説してくれるんじゃなかったか。でなきゃあんたといる理由はないな。
わかりましたよ。じゃあ今日は一つ貸しってことで。一般的に新薬の開発というのは、まずその病気に効く化合物を見つけることから始まります。それが新薬の候補になるわけです。
うん。
その効果を動物実験で試し、パスすればようやく臨床試験。臨床試験というのは要するに人体実験のことですね。そうやって何年も、いや場合によってはもっと長い時間をかけて効果や安全性を確認し、新薬として製品化されます。
どえらく大変なのはわかるよ。
さて、これまでのアルツハイマー治療薬はあくまで病状の進行を遅らせるものです。完治させるものは一つとしてありません。しかし木戸博士のアドデック9はマウス実験で目覚ましい効果を上げたんです。もしそれが人体にも有効なら、人類はアルツハイマーを治すことができる。1年前の論文はつまりそういう内容だったわけです。
なるほどね。
八神さん、
ん？
今日本では80歳を過ぎると4人に1人は認知症です。例えば50代の夫婦がいたら、それぞれの両親4人のうち1人が発症する計算です。さらにその30年後、自分か配偶者が認知症になっている確率は2つに1つ。認知症は誰にとっても人事ではありません。いずれ自分にそれと疑わしい症状が出たら、私ならすぐ診察を受けますね。中にはうまく病状の進行を抑えながら仕事を続けている人もいます。認知症は恐れるのではなく、備えるべき病気です。その時一番の敵は社会の無理解と無関心でしょうね。今のあなたのように。
分かったよ。
ではまず八神さんにはアルツハイマーの概要を知っていただきますが、聞く気ありますか？
他に選択肢はないんだろう。
結構。
I know what
じゃあ
Alzheimer's
始めま
is.
すね。
Please tell me they're gonna skip that.
前提として認知症にはいくつかタイプがありますが、
Nope.
その7割が
I really hope this is leading somewhere important because most people knows what Alzheimer's is. Like, even if this is like like important information, like you've already scratched the surface of Alzheimer's many times. You've talked about what it is. The nurse is like in the flashback. The nurse has talked about what Alzheimer's is. You've given us information about Alzheimer's quite a bit. So, like, this information you're giving us right here, you've already given us. Don't do it over and over and over again, alright?
普段のアルツハイマー病です。脳に
It's not
アミロ
necessary.
イドベータというタンパク質が蓄積することで発症すると言われています。すると神経細胞が死滅し、徐々に脳が萎縮してしまう。
つまり頭の中にたまるカスみたいなのが脳を縮ませるってこと。
かなりざっくり言えばですがね。ただそれさえ仮説の域を出ません。アルツハイマーにはまだわからないことが多いので。
脳が縮むとどうなる？
記憶に支障が出ます。そもそも記憶には明記、貯蔵、
This is way too much information about Alzheimer's for this game. Like, I'm kind of like, what you should do is you should put this in extra information that is optional for the players. Like, this is just a fucking information dump. Give us the very key information that's pertinent about the research that is falsified or something, but don't just give us like, I don't need to know the whole fucking report.
検索というプロセスがありますが、この最初の手順である明記ができなくなる。
And the reason I'm not skipping is because I don't know how much it's going to skip. I don't know if it's just going to skip the fucking rundown on the Alzheimer's bit, or if it's going to skip a whole bunch of story bit. I don't know how much story bit it's going to skip. I don't know if it's just going to... Yeah, I don't know if it's just going to skip the Alzheimer's bit, or if it's going to skip the Alzheimer bit and a whole bunch of other story, contextual stuff, but him and Hattori, like, I don't know. Like, some other random person might come in the store, and there might be them talking that we need to know, and they might skip that bit. Like, I don't know how much fucking shit is going to skip if I hit skip. So, yeah. Like, don't fucking do this, people. Like, put this in extra. It's not that pertinent to the story. Like, don't get me wrong, I have no problem with bringing up a subject that a lot of people don't know about or whatever, but you're just doing, like, huge fucking dump and trying to make, like, not every, Alzheimer's is not that interesting of a fucking subject. I don't care how much it's affecting Japan. I really don't. Like, it affects every fucking country. People are getting old. There's more old people just because there's more people. Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
いことが覚えづらくなるんです。一つ私が印象的に思った例を挙げましょうか。ある認知症患者に日付を聞いたとき、今日は何月何日と正しい答えが返ってきました。
Okay, and it's so goddamn slow. Speak faster.
1952年からなど何十年も前の年を答えることがあるそうです。
Cool.
認知症ではそういった記憶の混濁が見られるというわけで。
I get it.
だいたい理解できた。
そうですか。
じゃあそのアルツハイマーにアドデック9はどう効くんだ。
ええ、論文によると実験マウスに投与されたアドデック9はオートファジーと呼ばれる細胞の自食作用を引き起こします。
自食作用？
自分のタンパク質を自分で分解する作用。自分を食べると書いて自食です。その作用で脳にたまるタンパク質であるアミロイド β が瞬時に分解されるんです。
瞬時に？
ええ、そのアミロイド β が消えた結果、マウスのアルツハイマーは完全に進行しなくなりました。しかも驚いたことに死滅していたはずの脳細胞が一部機能を回復したんです。
That's impossible. Unless the drug did it, but even then, that would like be the most, because if not only does it do something, but then not only does it stop Alzheimer's by breaking down the buildup of the beta protein or whatever the protein, the beta protein that Alzheimer's causes. It also causes the regeneration of brain cells, which is something that, like, when you lose brain cells, like your head gets hit and you lose brain cells, like you don't get more brain cells back. Like the brain damage and like in losing brain cells, like I'm pretty sure the brain cells is like one of the few things that doesn't, like your spine and spinal fluid, like there's certain things that don't regenerate, like your skin and your blood cells repopulate, replenish, stuff like that. I'm pretty sure brain cells, like, you have a certain number of them, they come from stem cells. Whoa. Once you're a baby and once your brain stops developing at a certain age, like, That's it. That's your number of them. Like, you have no more stem cells, or your stem cell, like, you got no more coming in, and then you got no more replenishing. That's why, like it's actually a worry about how much like football players and certain sport players get hit in the head. You actually get a certain amount of brain damage, and you actually become dumber at one point. Goddamn headset. You've gotten so much head trauma, not just from the concussions and stuff, but you've gotten so much head trauma in like boxers and stuff that you've literally lost so many. You've lost a lot of you've lost like thousands, millions of brain. Like you lost a lot of brain cells. Is the problem. But, I mean, that's on top of all the other issues too. But that's one of the issues as well. Is like you get punched in the head. You lose brain cells, and they don't repopulate. It's different from getting a broken nose, or whatever. So brain damage is super severe. But like, not only does the drug do like get rid of the beta protein, but it also replenishes brain cells, or causes dead brain cells to regenerate, or damaged brain cells to regenerate. Like that right there alone, like forget the Alzheimer's shit. Like the regenerating brain cells, like that's almost like, because if it can regenerate brain cells, like it can it's regenerating cells that should not regenerate, or are unable to regenerate. Like you almost have like maybe I'm a little off, but like if you can change it, like if the formula, that formula is not too far off from like a fountain of youth kind of shit, like because like that's kind of like stem cells. It's almost like stem cells, because that's what stem cells do. So the drug's not too far off of what stem cells do. They regenerate and help and remake. Well, stem cells. Sorry, stem cells don't technically do that. I mean, they're cells that can become any cell in the body. But what I mean is like if you can use a drug to just make any cell in the body simply turn back time, like basically they. You know what I'm saying? They're just making. You're reusing whatever. It's just a fountain of youth. Pretty close. If you can either regenerate the cells using the drug or something like that, you're not too far off. So if they can do it with the brain, if you can somehow use this drug to use it to any other part of the body, then you've got the fountain of youth. Basically. So if this is a lie, like obviously they needed a pretty big lie to keep the ADDC afloat or keep it from being tore down, but like this is a pretty fucking big lie to, like, especially if it's false. If this is a false drug, like they're just like, hey, we came up with like the biggest drug invention of the last 100 years or more, or all time, pretty much all time. Like I don't know, like maybe the only other thing is like penicillin, maybe, I don't know, because like penicillin was close to the the biggest thing in the world, or is the biggest thing in the world, because it pretty much stopped. It's probably saved the most lives out there from people from dying, because of infection and other stuff. But like it's probably the next biggest thing. It is the biggest thing, and they're just like, hey, we're just gonna lie and say it is, and somehow not expect people to somehow find out that it's not real or it doesn't work or some shit. So it'll be interesting to see, especially like if they, especially if since the ADDC is pushing to do human testing or trial runs or something, because somehow they say, like, obviously they would falsify the data on animals and stuff like that, but then they would have to do it on humans, and they would they would probably have their own labs and stuff that they would have and handle over for like the beginning stuff, and they would send the data, but then you would have a lot more outside input most likely when you have, like, in America you would have the Food and Drug Administration, probably you'd have a lot of government stuff, like you have regulators, and you'd have certain people overwatching and checking in on you and stuff when you started to administer drugs to people, or go to the next tiers when you're getting closer to trying to make the drug people ready, and stuff. So like I don't know quite how it works in Japan, but so like once you get through that animal phase and stuff, and you try to start getting more serious with it, then you're gonna have like you're gonna have those officials and stuff who are constantly gonna be in the building, checking your testing, checking, like, wanting to see your patients, wanting to see how, like, wanting to see all your stuff all the time, wanting to see, like see the blood work, see all the paperwork, see everything, like you having to be able to fake that shit is going to be so difficult. Like, so I'm saying like a lot, sorry, but like there's so much shit that you're going to have to fake. And it's going to be harder to do because you're going to have more eyes on you, and you're going to have more people from outside in your building, or like inside the group. It's not just going to be your close-knit scientists from your company doing it anymore. You're going to have a whole bunch of regulators and stuff like that constantly overwatching you, or watching over you. So it's going to be a lot harder to do, or nearly impossible, I would say.
アルツハイマーを治せる。
そうです。患者は世界に数千万人。今も着々と増え続けています。
What I'm saying is it might have been smarter choosing something a little bit, unless they had something that was close to this, and then realized it didn't work, and decided to say it did anyways to try and save their asses, and try and fix it. A lot of times that can happen. But if it was always a lie, I would have gone with something a little less miraculous, because like saying you cured Alzheimer, kind of a little too big, especially when you're saying the drug basically regenerates brain cells in stuff, or has the possibility to regenerate brain cells. Yeah, I would have gone with something a little bit smaller that could still hopefully have saved the company from being torn down. Yeah, more than a dream drug. It'd be more than a dream drug. It would be the biggest discovery, because not only are you saying it cures Alzheimer, that's like a side effect. It regenerates brain cells after the fact. It gets rid of it dissolves the beta blockers, but not only does it stop there, like it doesn't damage the brain, it regenerates brain cells. A lot of times, like if it starts to if a medicine, like a lot of stomach medicines or something, certain medicines, if they dissolve things or if they eat away at something, obviously, like we have things for cancer and stuff like that, they're still they're not particularly like they're like a poison to the body, but the point is they're more poisonous to the cancer, and then we have treatments to try and they won't kill the patient, but they will cure the disease, right? But you're saying is they won't hurt the brain. Not only will they not hurt the brain, Alzheimer, but they'll also regenerate. Damn. So it's insane. It's an amazing thing. I would have gone with something smaller, unless I said like I said, like them if they were just making bullshit about it, like pulling it out of their ass. But if they were close to this and then found out that's why they killed the patient, like maybe they were testing it, they wanted to test it, or they were testing it behind, like doing human trials without permission, then they found out it wasn't working and they needed to cover it up or something, or found out it had a terrible side effect or something. But they still needed something to protect the place from being destroyed. They decided to go with that or whatever, which makes sense because it was the only thing they had. Yeah. But if it's total bullshit, then I would have come up with something a little bit more realistic.
例えば創薬センターの副所長は何かアドデック9に欠陥があると疑ってた。それを嗅ぎ回った結果、秘密を守る誰かに殺された。行きずりの喧嘩に見せかけて。
秘密というとどんな？
データの捏造とか薬の効果をでっち上げてたとか。
そういうことなら見当違いですね。
ん？なんで？
アドデック9は論文発表後マウスで何度も検証されていますし、それを裏付けるデータも揃っています。
How is that but
捏造
possible?
なんてありえません。あの新薬はすでに科学的に証明された存在なんです。
What are you talking about? Those are totally could be.
確かです。
Those could totally be falsified.
多少のあらがあってもどんどん開発を進めるべきだと思いますね。認知症治療薬は世界中で開発が進められています。もしよそに先を越されたら国家的な損失ですから。
What do you like? That's bullshit.
慎重すぎますよ。いつまでも動物実験してる場合じゃありません。すぐにでも臨床試験に入っていい。
臨床試験っていうのはつまり
人体実験です。
人体実験。まさか。
どうしました？
いや、じゃあアドデック9には本当に何も問題ないのか？
そうですね。これは強いて言えばの話ですけど。アド
That's bullshit. And I don't know where Hattori's just like, oh no, they've tested it on mice. There's nothing totally like. You could totally falsify data when tested on mice. First of all, I have no idea. You have no idea who's taking in this data. Is it simply data? Is it in-house data? Like, is it in-house data? Who's receiving this data? Who's like, where is it going? Is the drug being supplied to an outside, or being supplied to the government who's doing the testing, to a government agency who's doing the testing on the, like, who's doing the testing on the drug and on the mice? That's my question. I don't know. And maybe that's what I guess I don't know. Maybe that's something, like, I guess the video game might think if you're a Japanese player or something, like, they know, like, even our Food and Drug Administration, I don't know how they do it. We have a lot of private companies around here, so the private companies, I think, do pretty much everything, and I don't know how the Food and Drug Administration administers stuff. Like, I don't. I think they, like, I think everything has to go through them, but, like, all the testing and clinical stuff, like, all of that is in-house to the company. Like, they, like, the company pays for it, they do all that shit, and they have officials come from outside and check to see if they're doing it right. That's how they do it, as far as I know. So I think it's bullshit. Hitori's like, oh no, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Somebody could totally be falsifying this still. Totally be falsifying this. He's just like, no, it's totally legit. I think that's whole shit. Especially the way he said it so certainly. Like, no, I don't. First of all, I don't trust Hitori at all. He seems like a little weaselly piece of shit. So I call bullshit on him totally. And on top of that, I don't like his personality. Like, something about him, like the way he talks even, like, drives me up a fucking wall. Like, I just want to punch him. I think they might have made him that way too. Like, Yagami doesn't like him at all. Like, Yagami's totally offset by him also. I know, like, he wrote he's written stuff on him that, like, Yagami really hates and stuff, but, like, I think they made him try to sound like a really weaselly piece of shit. And just the way he's talking right now also is driving me nuts. Like, I don't know why. Something about him, like, I don't know what the American version of him would be, but he sounds like the way he just kind of, like, just sounds like a weaselly piece of shit. On top of that, he's a reporter and he's a scummy one too. And also someone's got him in his pocket. So, like, all of it together, he's just, and he thinks he's a know-it-all.
研究の実質的なキーマンは別にいて、ほら、あなたもご存知の小野という研究員です。
黒幕は小野だ。アドデック。
Yeah, we knew that. This isn't a huge.
そのようですね。まあ単なる研究員の論文では誰にも注目されません。
Okay, that's not, and it's not that rare. Shono's a smaller guy. He's an actual researcher. While Kido is the guy who heads up the whole facility. So this happens all the time. Like there's researchers inside the lab or inside the thing that actually do the work, right? And when they make a discovery or when they do something, then the big wigs be like, I'm stamping my name on this and stuff like that. You can use whatever thing, but the paper would never have gained such worldwide traction without Kido-san. Like, whatever. If some researcher in a lab somehow fucking came up with the cure to Alzheimer's, it would have gotten all the traction in the fucking world. Especially if it had clinical trials with mice that actually worked. Okay? So bullshit. He just stamped his name on it because he wanted the credit. It happens all the time. Bigwig, he's lucky that Kido-san just didn't come along and said Shono didn't do none of it, and it was all him. Like he said, well, I'm gonna get 50% of the credit. You're lucky you're getting half, right? Or Shino is Shono. So yeah, it's just Bigwig comes along. The Bigwig on the thing. Somebody underneath of him is working, makes a discovery, or makes it works on something, and he gets a breakthrough, and then he's like, okay, we're putting both of our names on this because I want the credit, obviously. So that makes sense at the very least. If I can understand that Shono might be the guy behind stuff, like when it comes to like protecting the work, because it's been all he's the one that's been like, it's all his work, right? He's been his life. He's been working his ass off on it the whole time. Kido just came along and stamped his name on it. He doesn't really have a personal attachment to it. He's just some corrupt dude. He's getting paid off here and there. He'll eventually get a job somewhere else. But Shono has literally this is his life's work kind of thing, right? So he'll align himself with anybody and kill whoever, or he'll get rid of whoever to make sure that it's safe and protected. Kido probably doesn't care about that. He doesn't care even if the ADDC does go down, because somebody else will pay him off somewhere. He'll get a job somewhere else, while Shono will lose his life's work if it goes away. So.
だからその道の権威の名前で発表される方が体裁も良い。
That's also just a Japanese thing. It's like if it doesn't come, the whole respect your uppers person thing. If it doesn't come from a bigwig, then it doesn't count kind of thing. It's also in Japanese dramas quite a bit. It's a little bit different here. Like if some random lab researcher discovers something and they publish it, you publish it in something it's only yes, I guess it'll get more traction if a famous person, like a famous scientist, quote unquote, like if Stephen Hawking's discovers something, people are probably paying attention to what Stephen Hawking's does, right? More often because he's just famous. But if someone were to discover the cure to Alzheimer's, or the cure to cancer, or the cure to whatever, like something big, it's gonna fucking get out there. Yeah. So whatever. But this is it's kind of a Japanese thing, where you have to give leeway or give way to your upper the person above you, kind of the hierarchy above you. So the work, even if it's your work, it's the person above you's work. Everybody's always taking credit for the person above them. I don't know why. I mean, it's not. I don't know why, but it's a common trope, or it's a common theme in a lot of Japanese dramas and even Korean dramas. It's kind of like a hierarchical thing. And a lot of times it's part of the story where it's someone speaks out against that. It's hey, you didn't do this. It's their work. They worked for it. it's it's theirs, not yours kind of scenario. Especially like if it's a like an office, like it's like a workspace kind of drama scenario. Like they did the work, not you. Stop taking credit for it kind of scenario. It's just a common thing. I mean, it's a common thing, quote unquote, in America too. But what I mean is a lot of times people in the workplace tend to do things even if they're in a lower rank. If they get it done and do it, then they tend to get it. They get the credit for it. I'm not saying it doesn't happen that someone else will steal credit for it. A lot of times that happens, especially in the academic sphere, where professors take credit for what their students or their assistant professors do and shit like that. But like it tends to be more, I would quote unquote say fair, even, whatever. But it seems to be an extremely big theme in the dramas. I notice it.
ショーの幼児またあんたの名前が出てきたな
It's not that hard. I mean, he might be playing a little bit bigger role. I don't think he is the mole, but I think he's obviously the guy who's well, I don't know. No, I don't think he is the mole. First of all, if the picture of the mole they show are like the guy who murdered the ADDC guy, I can't remember his name at the moment, is not just trying to throw us off. He's way too tall to be Shono. So he's way too tall to be Shono. He's taller than the ADDC guy. His face underneath the raincoat looks different. We only see a little bit of it, but it doesn't look like him to me, anyways. Now, I do think he could have been the person who murdered. I do think he could have been the person who murdered the patient at the Alzheimer hospital. That could have been a thing. And then they might have either had him or the mole dispose of it or something. But I think he is working with Hamura. So I think the dude, unless... Well, I don't know, like, they do find the Yakuza people with their eyes gouged out and stuff, but why would they have their eyes gouged out? That's a question. Unless their eyes gouged out. Well, no, like, yeah, I don't know why their eyes are gouged out. The only thing I can think of is, well, the old guy's eyes were, if the old guy's eyes were gouged out, I would think it might have something to do with the Alzheimer's thing. Like, it leaves a trace or something in the eyes or something of them taking the drug. But I don't think his eyes were missing, as far as I know. So, that's not true. I mean, as far as I know, that's not true. I could see, like I said, I could see him killing the old guy, since he says he was the last one to see it. Also gives him the opportunity to be the one who removes the body to the truck. I don't think he's the mole, but I guess he could be. But he's doing all this fucking research. Like, he's at the lab, he's doing all this fucking research. I don't think he has the time to also be the fucking mole. Like, being the fucking assassin. But he also... The assassin does need integral, like, apparently he does need a lot of, like, the way the person killed killed the guy, the ADDC guy. He needs knowledge of how to, like, knowledge of the human body in order, like, to kill, like, no, well, I guess he needs knowledge of the human body, but he also needs, like he needs to be an assassin, I guess. Like, he's a pretty good hitman. Like, he's been doing it for a long time. Shono is a pretty small guy. He doesn't, like, he's like he's a short guy, and he doesn't seem. I don't think he's the guy. I just don't think he's the guy. I think he might have murdered. He might have killed to protect his research. I think he might. There's a good chance he's the killer for our Alzheimer patient who set up Shinpei for Yagami's first case. And then who killed the girlfriend? I don't know then. Would it be Shono again? I don't know. Because I don't think it's Shinpei. We got too many cases like intertwining. They're like spider webs. Driving me nuts. You review the case at the office. But I definitely see Shono as somebody who would want to protect his. Oh, dude! Nice. I haven't seen that one before. He would want to protect the work more than Kido. Kido sees it as like a paycheck, I think, versus Shono, who sees it as his life work. Oh fuck, dude. Why is this guy so good? He's got like more health than anybody else. Finally. Yeah, the dude had like more health than anybody else. I mean, yeah. He had like a bigger defense than most people too. He was taking less damage on most of my hits.
Yo, 帰ったか。
お帰りなさい。
なんだ、みんな揃ってんのか。
服部さんとの話どうでした？役に立ちました。
Boring.
まあ、多分。
Can I eat some food real quick? Or are you guys gonna? Oh, it looks good. Steak and mushrooms. I'm sitting on the couch, I guess. Not bad so far. We got horse figurine, bonsai tree, Ebisu statue, and then I guess we're gonna go ahead and put all our little fishy statues over here. And then I was gonna put something over here, but I'm not sure what yet.
Nani? じゃあ結局アドデック9には何も問題なかった。
The name Aroteko 9. I don't know, something about it is annoying the fuck out of me. Like, I wish they had chose a different name for it.
服部の話だとね。
でも、木戸が名前だけのお飾りだったっていうのは初耳です。そうなるとやっぱり小野の方に何かあるんですかね。
どうだろうな。
Maybe it's just the fact that they say the name all the time.
ああ、ただそれより俺は服部と話してて一つ気になる言葉があった。なんだよ。 人体実験。
それが
アドデック9はこれから人体実験に入る段階らしい。
人体実験か。なんか連想しちゃうね。目をえぐられた死体とか。
アホか。
で、その人体実験がどう気になるの？
いや、だからモグラの殺しがさ、アドデック9の例えば極秘の人体実験だったとしたらどうかなって。
お前までマジで言ってんのか？
仮にモグラの黒幕が小野だとして。
だとして小野が殺し屋に何人も殺しを頼んだってのか？
やっぱおかしいか。
もし人体実
I'm confused. It's saying that he hired him. How would you experiment with the drug on people? So what? He experimented on the drug on the people, and then they killed him, and then they killed the people, or they killed the people and then experimented. I'm confused. I'm confused at how the mole's kills would be test subjects. I guess you could administer the drug and then somehow do some sort of testing and then let him kill him, but I don't know, something about it.
験だとしても
Just confusing.
認知症の
It
進
seems
路を
like
試すのに
seems like they
わざわ
killed
ざ
him
人
too
を殺します
quickly.
かね。ウイルス兵器じゃあるまいし。
そこはほら、未知のものすごい副作用があったとか。殺したかったわけじゃなくて死なせちゃったんだよ。
でも実験マウスが全然平気なんですよ。なのにいきなり人を死なせちゃうなんて。まさか。
そのまさかが起きたんだとしたら。
じゃあアドデック9はマウスに無害で人間には猛毒だったってことですか？
ああ。だからその副作用をなくすために何人も実験する必要がある。それで教霊会の連中を何人も殺してたとか。
Shonen needed to silence his Yakuza. They resorted to using them all.
待った。そもそも薬の実験ならその病気の患者に試さねえか？モグラがやった奴らは別にアルツハイマーじゃなかった。
Yeah, that's the one thing.
そうだな。
That's the main thing. Yeah, that was more like that's probably what that's kind of where my brain was like. What they would needed to use it on an Alzheimer, like they would need it on someone with Alzheimer's to get like any kind of like to see if it's like yeah, that's where your test results would come from. If you just give it to a healthy patient, like you would just get the degenerative side effects and you like yeah.
試験は健康な人にもやるそうです。薬が人体に安全か確かめるために。
最終的にはそうかもしんねえけど、やっぱ最初は患者からだろ。
でもさ、
勘弁しろよ。
What if they had already tested on
進めようぜ。
みんな真面目に話してますよ。
人体実験がどうのこうの真面目に話せねえっつってんだ、アホが。
アホ？全ての可能性をちゃんと考察しない人の方がアホですよ。
ほう、そうかい。じゃああのセンターで殺された枠ってじいさんも人体実験だったのかもな。へっ。ん？なんだよ。
八神さんが昔弁護した創薬センターの事件。あの時殺された
I've
枠
been
さんは
saying that
確
forever.
かアルツハイマーだったよね。
It's funny that Kaido is the one that picked up on said anything first.
あの事件の被害者は枠っていうアルツハイマー病の患者だった。でも大久保新平は無罪になって結局今も誰が何のために枠を殺したかは分かってない。
まあ落ち着けって。それ3年前の事件だろ。そんな前からアドデック9があったっけか。
確かにアドテック9の論文発表は1年前ですね。でも当然研究はそのずっと前から始まってたはずです。
ん？え？ってことはマジかこれ。
まだ何とも言えませんけど、この話もう少し掘り下げてみません？
I've been saying that forever, forever, forever. Finally. Organizing the information.
もし3年前の事件が人体実験の結果だったとしたら、アドデック9は吹っ飛ぶね。スキャンダルどころの話じゃないよ。
But then, yeah, then you gotta find out who murdered the girlfriend. Either to keep him quiet or to, you know, try and... Maybe they were also trying to kill, Shinpei. Like I said, I think it's Shono.
なんか俺、今日頭冴えてる気がするぜ。
I was gonna say, he was getting a little... I don't know why he was getting so aggressive over the idea of him, like, what they were coming up with,
さっ
but...
きの人体実験説、もう少し話し合いたいです。続けてもいいですか？
I guess this is either the end of the chapter or something. Wondering why I was taking a break.
ショーノが3年前に人体実験をやったとして、なんで急にそんなことしたんですかね。本来なら臨床試験に入る前にもっと安全性を確認するでしょうし、ショーノの動機は何だったんです？
やっぱり画期的な新薬を早く人の体で試したかった。うまくいけば世界を救うって新薬だ。それでも正式な手順を踏んで臨床試験をやるまでには時間がかかる。下手したら何年も。
そっか。でもショーノのそばには認知症の患者がたくさんいて、ちょっとくらいの実験ならまずバレないでしょうし、逆にうまくいったら万々歳です。それですぐにでも世界を救えるなら多少危険を冒してでも。
でもその結果、ショーノはまさかの副作用で患者を死なせてしまった。3年前の事件についてはやっぱりそれによる事故だった気がするな。
なるほど。
ただし今は危険を承知で人体実験を続けている。モグラを使って。まだ仮説の段階だけど、今のところ筋は通ってるよな。
さっきの八神さんの仮説でいくと、じゃあ大久保って本当に無実だったの？でもあいつその後恋人殺したよね。だから死刑なんでしょ。
よせ杉浦、その話はまた後だ。
I was gonna say, what about Ayabe? Like, we haven't done anything for his case yet, right? Right? Like, this has all been about the drug, basically. This has all been about, yeah, Hashiki's case, pretty much. But, like, we have done nothing on the Shintani murder, which is... Yeah, we have done nothing. Like, I know technically, like, solving all of it might come down to, like if we catch the mole, maybe... Like, I get that. Like, I do. I guess technically... Yeah, I guess they're so intertwined that if we catch the mole, we save Ayabe. Ayabe. Keep organizing the information. Why does it keep giving us, like, quote-unquote breaks? Why don't we just keep... Like, they were fine with just information done... Like, they were just fine with information That word sounds so weird to me now. Information dumping us earlier with Hitori, and now they're like, take a break, take a break, take a break, take a break. It's like, Jesus freaking Christ. Just get this over with.
まず3年前、小野がアドテック9の実験中に事故で患者を死なせてしまった。ところがその人体実験は今も続いてて、だから羽村やモグラが協励会。
So he's doing human test subjects behind everybody's back, but so this is so he's not using he's not using what you would call they're not Alzheimer patients. They're his test group, or his whatever he called them. You would need a group of Alzheimer patients. You would need a group of non-Alzheimer patients to see the results on a healthy person, right? To see the side effects. To see the side effects. You would get a healthy, quote-unquote healthy person, and then you would get you would see the side effects on them, and then he was using the mole to kill them off, so that they weren't out there. He was using an assassin, but then he was also he was using Hamura as a go-between, and Hamura was offing people that he didn't want, he didn't like, which was the Kyorei, the Kyorei guys. Interesting. I mean, it's interesting using Yakuza as your test subjects, like your I can't remember what your trial group, the group that is your blind the test that has got no issues. But then he's still got to be doing. Is he still doing tests? Unless he's done tests on more people, but he's got to be doing more tests. He's got to be like. He's already, like, why would he be doing it? They're already approaching human trials, apparently. But he must be doing it because he needs the information to try and get it fixed. Maybe that's it. He's trying to get it fixed. He's trying to get it fixed before they get to human trials. Because if he doesn't get it fixed before human trials, they're going to find out that it has seriously bad side effects. Either causes death or whatever it is, right? Causes terrible side effects in humans that wasn't seen in mice, and then it's going to be realized that it's not a miracle drug. Like, it might work in mice or whatever, but just because it works in mice, it's going to be a dud in humans, because it doesn't work in humans, because our bodies are too different. That's why usually, like, they go to mice, and once they go to mice, they usually test it on monkeys, some sort of monkey or primate, like chimps or something. They usually test it on them, and if it has a similar effect on chimps, I mean, if it has an okay effect on chimps, then they usually go to human trials. Which I don't have a problem with. Like, test it on the chimp first, not the human. Like, who could have brought a simple researcher like Shono in contact with? So.
Hontou?
確かに大臣なら力はありそうですけど、そこまでリスクを冒すメリットが大臣にあるかどうか。
じゃあ他に誰がいる？
小野の代わりに羽村とコネを持っていた人物。それは
創薬センターのトップ、木戸隆介。
なるほど。木戸ならセンターの金も動かせるでしょうし、そういえば裏社会とつながっているって話もありましたね。
Then why is the minister that's bullshit. That's bullshit. They shouldn't have had him in there then. The minister has ties to the other Yakuza. The minister has ties to the other Yakuza, like extreme ties. And they're like, that doesn't make sense. He has ties to the construction people with the Yakuza, the construction, the Kajihira guy, who's the backer of all the other Yakuza. Like, for fuck's sakes. Like, hello? Like, that minister is totally corrupt. He's been pocketing money from Kajihira for redeveloping the place. He has ties to that guy who's got ties to the Yakuza. He's a big Yakuza guy. Like, he's got his own, that minister's got his men inside the ADDC, like, watching over them. Like, fuck off.
そうですよ。きっと木戸も一味です。
いや、それはどうかな。
なんだよ。
だってほら、例の論文発表の時の記者会見、あの時の木戸の顔覚えてない？あんな無邪気なドヤ顔してたんだよ。もし人体実験のことがバレれば破滅なのに。木戸ってそんなに肝据わってる人？
まあそうは見えねえな。
じゃあ木戸が人体実験のことを知らされたのはあの記者会見の後。そういうことならどうです？
あ、
まずショーノは何も知らない木戸をアドデック9の論文の筆頭執筆者にして全ての手柄も譲った。大喜びの木戸はそれをあの場で華々しく発表したんです。で、その後実験で人が死んでるとか言われてももう抜けられませんよね。多分そうやってショーノは木戸を一味に引き込んだ。木戸の金とコネを通じて羽村やモグラを雇うために。ってことなら結構自然な流れじゃありません？
ほうほう。なら小野と木戸の力関係は見た目と逆か。
ええ、やっぱりモグラの黒幕はショーノですよ。
じゃあその場合よ、最初に小野が殺し屋使ったのはいつだ？いつからモグラは動いている
？3年前、小野が患者を死なせた時、その事件でモグラと繋がったんじゃないか。
でもショーノが患者を死なせたのは多分事故であって想定外のことだったんですよね。そこで殺し屋を雇う理由って何かあります？
そっか。じゃあ別のタイミングか。
だからいつだよ。
Wait. How was that murder not intentional? That's bullshit. He didn't mean for that to happen. It was a smothering. Does you mean like he didn't mean for it as in he didn't the drug he didn't think the drug was gonna kill him? I can understand it that way, but like the murder was intentional entirely. So like even if like he didn't intend to murder him at first, like there was still an intent to murder when he smothered him. So he would still have he would have found out that the drug is having a terrible effect, or he needs to get rid of the body. He needs to get rid of Waku. Then so he would have then called in the mole and had him dispose of him. Either, right? So like I think that's that was not good reasoning. I think there's a chance that he could have easily have contacted he could have had it in contact with him 3 years ago. Now if the reasoning is perceptive that Keto, yeah.
半年前に橋木を殺したのはモグラだったと思う。
なんでだ？
生野にとってアドデックナインを嗅ぎ回る端木は目障りだった。でも犯行当時、生野にはタクシーに乗ってたってアリバイがある。この時生野は別の誰かに端木を始末させたんじゃないか。
じゃあ例の黒いレインコートの男がモグラだったってことですか？
ああ、腕のいい殺し屋なんてそう何人もいないだろう。
確かにな。俺もそう思う。
端木が殺されずにいたら、そのうち例の人体実験にも気づいたかもしれない。
Wasn't he arguing with the man though?
そうなったら
Doesn't that make it seem like he knows the guy though?
端木を始末しようとするには十分な動機です。
Why would he be arguing with him if he was a murderer? Unless he was drunk. Or was he just arguing with Shono? Like, he looks like he was arguing with him.
言いたいことがあるんだろ？言えよ。
今までの話ってさ、あくまで全部仮説でしょ。おまけにこれちょっと八神さんに都合良すぎない？
ん？都合良すぎってなんだ
？3年前にセンターで患者死なせたのが小野って言うんなら、じゃああの事件で疑われてた大久保は完全に潔白だったってことでしょ？
そうだ、判決通りあいつは本当に無実だったわけだ。
でも大久保ってさ、その後恋人殺してるよね。包丁で何度も刺して火までつけた。禁酒してたはずが相当酒臭かったってね。結局あいつ本当は殺人鬼だったじゃない。だからみんな騒いだんでしょ。センターの事件で大久保を無罪にしたのが間違いだったって。
What? See, this is what this, like Japan and even somewhat to Korea, like they think the courts made a mistake. Like, what the fuck kind of idea is that? You think the courts are perfect? Like you're gonna be lucky if the courts even, like, the courts should never be like 90% correct, because you know that's not right. Like, the fact that they get 99% conviction rating or whatever, that is so bogusy bullshit. Like, it's criminal. That's criminal that they get 99% conviction rating. That means it is better that 100 oh my god, I can't remember the saying now. 100 damn it. 100 guilty men go free than one innocent man be called guilty. I can't remember the exact saying, but that's basically it. Okay? Like, that's so stupid. The fact that, like, ooh, like, you know, like, that they got it wrong. Like, that is so stupid. That's what, like, I think in, like, Japan and I have to look a little bit more towards Korea, but they've given up so much of their freedoms for safety that they have, like, they're going back towards, like, a like they're not quite towards a dictatorship, but they lean more towards that way. Like, they're not free. They're not free. Like, like, not at all. They've given most of all their freedoms are just gone. Like, seriously, like, barely any. Like, how much their cops, like, it's terrible. It's bad. It is disgusting. Like, you don't want to be in a situation where you're getting arrested in Japan because like it's just bad. Like, you think anyone, like, hates America, like, it's, like, soft in America, like, how they treat you compared to, like, fucking, like, in, like, Japan or something. That's so bullshit. I hate that. I even hate the way that someone thinks, the way that thoughts, that sentimentality. You should think more of the times that yes, they're going to get it wrong. You're lucky if the courts, the cops, any of the government, like not just the government, but you're lucky if, since they're humans, they're going to get it right even 50% of the time. It is better that the innocent go free, right? Than you lock up a whole bunch of innocent people just to catch a guilty person. And that's what they want. They want them to lock up a whole bunch of people, hoping that they're safe. Right? That's what they want. They want their safety. That's all they care. They want to tape all the edges. They want to protect themselves. All that, and it's quite true. Like there's quite a bit of stuff that like kind of that really does prove this. It's all about protecting themselves. People there's even like studies that go into this about how like certain types of people and who give up I'm just like kind of thinking about now like certain types of people who about freedom versus safety and stuff like that, and the types of people there are, and but yeah, it's that kind of I mean, it's maybe partially a culture thing. It's probably very much a culture thing, stuff like that. But it's a very, I think it's very bad. It's even partially evil, I think. And that's why I think it objectively one culture or one ideology or one way is better than another, because they have given up so much of their freedoms to be safe, safe from a criminal, but they're not really safe. They lie to themselves and say they're safe. There's still so much there's still so much crime there. There's still there's just as much crime. There's just as much there might not be as much gun crime, but there's just as much trafficking. There's much drugs. Maybe they have a little bit less drugs, but maybe there's just as much there's just as much stuff. But then even if you give up some, maybe there's a little bit less crime, right? But then maybe there's a little bit less crime. But then the government has control of you, complete and utter control over you, right? And then you're like, well, then if I don't do anything, no, that's not the way it works. There's so many innocent people in jail right now in Japan who have done nothing. You would say well, there's so many innocent people in America. I bet you there's a 10-to-1 ratio probably in Japan versus America. Okay, I'm not saying America's perfect, but I'm telling you, I'm telling you, there are people in Japan probably that are just left in jail for months on end until they are forced to say, I did it. I mean, there's literal movies made about it, about how terribly and shitty that system is. And stuff. That mentality, that system of the fact that they thought, oh, they got it wrong. I'm not surprised when the court, that's it. There's so many times, well, that's the fucking thing, is American court systems get it wrong all the fucking time. We almost assume the courts get it wrong. That's why we have an appeal system. We assume when somebody goes in, they're going to get it wrong, they're going to take it to an appeals court, someone is going to go through all the fucking laws and go, oh no, they fucked up here, they fucked up there, okay, they fucked this up, blah, 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 okay, they should change that, okay, he didn't get overturned, but he has a lesser sentence, or no, he has a greater sentence, or something, right? Okay, we have that all the time. That's why we have an appeals court. We have several appeals court. You can take it to 5 layers. You can go up to the Supreme Court. You have it 2 appeals court. You have a local, you have I think you can have you go to 2 different appeals court and then the Supreme Court. So you can appeal it 3 fucking times. Or something like that. You can appeal it a whole bunch. We assume you're going to get it wrong, to be honest. But that's the other way around. They assume they get it right every single time, which is that's fucked up. Don't ever assume that. Don't ever assume that, because the odds are always that you've got it wrong, especially someone in the government, because they're always doing it wrong. This is not favorite. No, it really is. It's odds just whatever it is. The odds are against them. Just provable. Just provable in different like there's tons of studies, there's tons of things that the odds are like you're lucky if you're getting 50% of the time of anything that like the government like they're trying to do, either the courts, police, whatever. Like I'm not trying to blame them. Like there are like they're whatever like like trying to catch the right thief, trying to do that, like do whatever. Like I'm not saying they're trying to do it on purpose. Like, but the thing is the issue is you've got bad cops. Like the issues you got your good cops trying to do everything right. I mean, you got your good people, right? Then you got your bad people that are just dragging the rest of you down. Then you got your mediocre people. Then you got your bureaucracy. Like you got all this shit. So just don't. And it's a terrible thing. So that's the problem. Is easily they could have got like just because there's this thing afterwards, right? They think the first thing's wrong. Why? Why did they not think that maybe he didn't kill the first guy, but maybe he killed the second one? Like they just automatically think it's wrong. Like I don't know. It might be also human nature. I don't know. But it's also noticeable human nature in some areas and not the other. Like America was built on revolting, and I think it's still even in just certain areas of America, even still in the culture and in like even in the DNA and blood of the people than other areas. And in other areas, they're more submissive. They are. It's just more submissive. Because I think the people have lived that way for a long time. It's partially in the culture, and it's partially just kind of how the people have quite literally, like, I guess you would say it's like bred into the people. Like, I know someone's going to get me onto that for that, but it's literally over the generations, the people who have survived are the ones who've kept their head down, right? Who've probably kept their head down the most. So it's kind of, that's the way the culture goes. That's the way the people go, and that's the way the culture goes. So in America, it's quite different. I mean, right now we're kind of I would say on kind of a bending point. It happens throughout American history where we're kind of on a bending point, whether or not we're going to revolt and fight back, or whether or not we're going to bend the knee, kind of things. But I don't know. That's kind of off point. But I don't know why. But it just kind of is, and it really annoys me. I hate how much people give up. Like we saw in the last couple of years, the thing in Hong Kong, how much they would not give up and wouldn't bend the knee, and how much they were fighting for their freedoms over their safety. But people in Japan will easily bend the knee to their government and take their safety from whatever, just name it, just whatever, over their freedoms, right? And then the next day, and then within the next day, the government will come knocking on their door and take them, and then fucking haul them away for just whatever. I mean, like, all the power is in their government. All their power is in their police, their government, and they abuse it so severely. And we see even in America, like, how bureaucratic and how crappy, like, how abusive it can be with like these agencies like the FBI and the CIA and all of them. And it's because over the years we have given so much power to them because we want to be safe rather than free. So it's just like fucking stop. I'm sick and tired, and it's because of weak people like that who want to be safe. You're never going to be safe. You can give up every inch of your life. You'll never be safe, because as soon as you give up every freedom, you're not safe from the people that you give up that freedom to. Okay? Like, just think about it. You give up everything, like, you will try to, like, you will give up everything to the people over you, to the power over you. You say, just keep me safe. But then you are not safe from them. You are not safe from them. You'll never be safe. Ever. You will not be safe walking out your door. You'll be safe walking down the street, walking across the street, driving your car. You're not safe. Ever. And I'm sick and tired of it. Sorry, I don't know why that sent me off so bad.
やっぱりあれも大久保の仕業だったんじゃないかってね。でも八神さんとしては大久保が判決通り無実だったと信じたい。そして寺沢恵美が死んだのも 自分のせいじゃなかったと思いたい。違う？
What the fuck is his problem? Dude, Yagami, punch this motherfucker. He seems like one of these. All of a sudden, he's turned into one of these people. Like he's like, I'm gonna fight the power and all this shit. And now he's all like, yeah, fucking punch this little bitch.
僕はもともと自分が感情に振り回されやすいって自覚があってさ。
Not just get swept up, just fuck you, bitch.
だからフェアでいようっていつも努力してる。
When were you fair?
さっきの八神さんの仮説を進めるなら、まず大久保の潔白を確かめなきゃ。創薬センターでワクっておじいちゃんを本当に殺してなかったかどうか。
そんなもんどうやって確かめんだ？
大久保に聞くんだよ。センターでの事件、君は本当に無実だったかって。
What? And we ask if he's really innocent. He even defended him. I think he said he even defended him on the second murder, on his girlfriend's murder. But he said because he said he felt sick every time he defended him in court. Do you expect him to answer differently all of a sudden on death row? You fucking. This is stupid. I think this is a stupid writing decision. Like, I think this is something else. I think, if anything, instead of Sugihara, I can't remember his last name. It's not Sugihara, it's Sugihara or something like that. Instead of him doing this little spiel bullshit or whatever, I think this should be simply Yagami wanting to kind of face his past with the situation and kind of realizing how that the two have intertwined and that he needs to talk to Okuba or Shinpei. So that he needs to talk to Shinpei and say, you know, I had some doubts, like talk to him about the past. Like he needs to have a one-on-one and out with him. And you know, so I think it should have been more. Yagami, like I said, Yagami's like had an issue with it. I don't need this red-headed punk, like this fake-haired fake fucker. Like so far I've never really had an attachment or liking to him. The other two, Hoshino's been okay. Kaito's cool. I like him, but he's not really had much of a character really so far. Like this should have been totally Yagami, like finally coming to realization or something, like sitting in his office at night, like in the dark kind of situation that he needed to go talk to Shinpei. He's on death row. Maybe he realized he needs to defend, like he needs to redefend, like he needs to somehow get him off death. Like he thinks he really didn't. Maybe he's finally realizing he didn't do it or something, but he needs to hear it from Shinpei once more. You know, like he needs to go there and hear it from Shinpei once more and hear that he didn't do it because he thinks it's tied in with the mole and this is the mole's doing or something. Like he's like, you really didn't kill your girlfriend, right? Like you gotta look. I need to look you in the eye. I need you to tell me you didn't do it or something, right? Something like that. Like I think it needed to be him coming to terms with his demons from his past rather than this little fucker, like yelling at him, right? Like I think this is a bad writing situation right here. And I want to skip it because it's like, who the fuck are you?
彼は俺を憎んでる。寺沢恵美の件で大久保はずっと無実を訴えてた。でも俺はそれを見捨てたんだ。もう諦めろってな。
それでももう一度大久保って人間を見とくべきじゃないの?
Yeah, see, this is even more proof. This is even more proof. What I said is like him, like this is like one of those times where like he's like drinking in his office, like the typical lawyer thing, like drinking in your office in the dark late at night. You hear all the sounds and lights around you outside, and like he's like brewing in his office, and he's like he realizes he has to do something, and it's he needs to he needs to start trying to, and he realizes he needs to help him get off death row. It's one of the cases he needs to help pick back up, and it shouldn't be this kid. We need, first of all, we don't know, like, we don't have enough with him yet. Like, he's okay. He's okay. I would have preferred if this kid was the red-haired host guy. Like, I don't know why it's not the red-haired host guy. Like he has the same figure, the same hair, same everything. I thought because remember what, like, the kids you'll owe me, like, you'll owe me one Yagami and stuff like that. Like, I thought it was gonna be him. I thought he was gonna have a connection or some shit. Anyways, there's some tying together like we could have done with this story, but yeah. It doesn't mean I don't like it, but I'm just saying is, like, there could have been some neat tie-in, like, could have made it tighter. But, like, you could have done some, like, I guess these are probably, like, more American tropes that I'm thinking of, but I also think, like, but at the same time, I still think they're good, like, decent movie bits. But like I said, like, or just, he doesn't, like, he could be, like, sitting at a restaurant, you know, drinking, or, like, at one of those, one of those food stand things where, like, well, they have them in, like, Korean things, where, like, a mobile food stand thing, where you go to get, like, ramen and food or something, or, like, a drink after work in Japan or Korea, and you, like, get drunk and stuff, and, like, he's sitting there and he's realizing, you know, he's got to go meet him, and then he decides to go meet him, and he says he says, I abandoned you before, but I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna fight for you now. And maybe the guy doesn't want you, and he goes, it doesn't matter, I'm gonna fight for you. Sorry, my throat's starting to go. So yeah, I think it needed to be him coming to it on his own terms rather than this kid. Maybe the kid kind of talks to him, comes down, sits next to him, and talks to him about it. But I don't think he needed to like tell him off kind of scenario. Like, I don't think it's his place to do it. He doesn't know Yagami. You don't know me like that. You don't know me like that. But like Kaito is the one, if anything, that has the space, he's the one that knows Yagami enough to maybe be able to kind of yell at him and tell him off, right? Not this kid that he's just met.
本気でこの事件を追いかけたいんだな。
どうする?
Yeah, if anything, maybe it'd be a little bit better. I still think, like, writing wise, I think my way of doing it would have been a little bit better. Like, after they all left, he once they all finish up for the day, you know, he goes for a drink, or he pulls a drink out of his desk or something, or he's sitting at his desk looking over the files, and he realizes he's got to go, you know, stand up, or like Kaito gives him a little talk or something before he leaves about Shinpei or something, or he comes back and stays and talks to him about Shinpei or something. I don't know, something. I think it should have been Kaito. If Kaito kind of gave him this little bit of delivery instead of this kid, I think it'd probably come over better. I don't know why it's just like you're given the wrong person. You don't give a person you've only known for a little while the like slap in the face, like, you need to do this, you need to, you know, man up or do this thing. Because instead what happens is you're like, what the fuck, you don't know me like that.
星野君、
はい。
大久保新平と面会する。手配頼めるか。
わかりました。拘置所に連絡します。
その間に俺はもう一度大久保の裁判資料を見てくるよ。源田先生のところに行ってくる。
はい。
I mean, I feel like we got a little bit of information and stuff out of that, but it wasn't like... Like, I like this game a lot, but I think when it comes down to it, I think the writing wise, I think it could be like it's like an A plus, not an A plus. I think it could just be a solid A. Like right now, I'm sitting at a B, maybe B minus. Would like with story and stuff, especially would be like an A if they just like the writer like knew how to like present certain aspects just right. What the heck is this? It's like a water jug. Sand weight. What the heck is a sand weight? Is that something? Looks like almost like a water, like a sideways water jug. Like I said, like the presentation of certain things and knowing when to do each character. Like certain times they do them just well. Like I like the scene, the hostess scene with Sori. Like, no, her actually with the girl, like, talking about the girl and stuff, was good. Kaito with the kid, and, the kid scene with Kaito. I think, the scene with Kaito and Yagami going to see the Patriarch, thinking, and Hagashi setting up to see the Patriarch, and them quote unquote being betrayed, because he was trying to stop them from finding Mura. That was really good. But like I said, like small scenes, like Yagami sitting at his desk and realizing he needs to do something, like him stewing or something, like certain like scenes that would be like cut scenes or something like that, like certain connecting scenes like that, or something like that. I think they don't they don't have the best of those all the time, and I don't think they've done the best with this other random this what's his face, the thief kid. They haven't given me much characterization with him. He's okay. But there's not much to him. Kaito, even Hoshino's gotten a little bit of characterization so far. I think he's gotten more than the other kid. Yeah, like I think we could have more. I'm just thinking in my head, even from like if I'm just taking kind of like little bits from other movies or like well-known kind of like scenes from detective kind of things. Like I said, like like pulling the booze out of the drawer and looking at the case file or something, and like then or like him stewing and eating the ramen, like drinking, or like drinking and stuff like that, and like feeling like he's got to do something, and then like Kaito comes along and kind of motivationally speaks to him, or like comes into the office and talks to him after the guys leave during that last bit, and he realizes he's got to go talk to Shinpei. There's several scenes that I think we could intermix that makes it the character like makes it tighter and like them work, like they just work together better. Otherwise, a lot of the interconnectivity I think is just a little too much loose. And I think we also need to give if they want the thief kid to work, I think they need to give him a little bit more. So far, he hasn't had much. I think the other thing too is they need to give some, like we got all these side missions and shit. We need some side missions with these characters. There's the only thing that we haven't had is like Kaito. We've had some main story missions, right? But I wish we had some side missions, especially with if you want us to get to know, like I want to get to know them a little bit better. So it'd be great if we could do some side missions, side cases with Kaito, and some side missions with Hoshino, and some side missions with I can't even remember his name, Sugiyara, something. I can't even remember his name. Yeah, so do some side missions with them where they were interacting, and we have some really heart to heart moments, some cool stuff like that.
どうした八神
3年前の裁判資料を見せてもらえますか。創薬センターでの件です。これから大久保新平と面会しますんで。
Yeah, the fact that he like comes in there and says I'm gonna go see him, it feels like it should come after like a moment where he's like, I'm gonna go do it, kind of thing, rather than the guy like like some random kid just like he's been struggling with this for like the past couple years, right? He quit being a lawyer, he gave up, and he decided to become a detective, and he's been doing this, and he's like, it literally is what stopped him being a lawyer, and he's had it like, that was his like, he feels like that case was like his bug in his past. It needed a better, it needed a better moment. Like that's a false start right there. Just for the writing point, really needs a better past. I really wish, because I really like this game. I really wish it needed something else. It needed something else. This feels like a false dud before like as we're rising up towards the climax, it feels like just a dip. You know? Like it's like that's what it feels like. It's like it just felt like stupid to me. It really did. I feel like he needs to like come, not like, it's not like he needs to like have this like an over emotional moment, but like he's fucking had a heart. Like this is, like I said, he quit being like he had a difficult time with this, quit being a fucking lawyer. He pretty much broke up with Mafuyu because he was having a hard time, it seems. He became a detective, which is totally different. Like, just look how different he is compared to what he was before, you know. And then how different his life is. And he's obviously struggled, like he struggles with the death with Emmy's death, because he kind of feels guilty for it. Or he doesn't kind of, he feels guilty for it. So, like, that's something that he needs to talk with either Genda Sensei about, or Genda Sensei or Kaito, like him in his office. Like, he needed to have a little bit, not emotional where he's crying or over, but just a little bit of a talk where he needs a little bit of, like, maybe Kaito's like just like man the fuck up, man, let's go, or something, just a little bit of a man-to-man thing. And then he's like, or like, them drinking, like him drinking in the office, and Kaito like talks to him, or like something like that. I don't know, like I could probably arrange something to be a little bit better, but like even Genda Sensei come and talks to him or something because he's having a hard time. Maybe he's like, I don't know, maybe there's an announcement about there's like a local news announcement or something about Shenpei's upcoming execution or something, and it doesn't set him off, but like he kind of like, he kind of like brings it all back, and he's kind of like sitting in his office, and he's like, he's like, and it's kind of like I said, he goes out to get drunk or something, and he comes back to his office, and we have a cutscene about it or something, and then Genda like comes talk to him about it because he's having a hard time or something, and he realizes, and then Kaito comes and is like, come on, man the fuck up, you need to go. And then, it's something, I don't know, something, but it didn't, it just this random kid saying, I'm gonna fucking yell at you or whatever. It didn't work. Didn't work for me. I don't think it's good. I didn't think it was good writing. We don't have enough good characterization between the two of them, and yeah, I think we definitely there's something definitely better. I think from all the rest of it, I think that bit right there is like a fucking D. Like if you were to turn that bit in right there to like a writing teacher, you would get a D, and it would bring down the rest of this from like a B plus or an A to like I said, like a B minus. Sorry, I'm talking a lot at the end here. We'll be done in a minute.
わかりました。資料は私が用意します。
悪いね、沙織さん。
And also what it should do is, I don't know how hard it is in Japan, but like it would be really cool to like he still should, but I don't know how hard it is in Japan to get like your lawyering. But if he hasn't technically lost it yet, if he's something he can get back or something like that, or if you're able to represent somebody somehow. I don't know, but maybe there's some way you could do it. But that he's able to represent him as his lawyer or something, where he decides to become a lawyer for a little bit to be able. Hi, puppy. Hi. She's climbing all over me. He comes and he represents him as his lawyer for a little. He represents Jinpei as his lawyer. You know, once again, he does whatever he needs to be a lawyer or to represent Jinpei as his lawyer again, and it kind of like it comes full circuit. Like he gave up on him earlier, but he's back to represent him as his lawyer, to defend him and to try and like prove that, and he did the research and everything to find out who the bad guy is and all that, even if it's whether it's just at the very end of the game or something. I don't know. But yeah, like I could see some, like, yeah, we'll see how it ends, but what are you doing, puppy? Are you ready for bed? She goes, I'm ready for bed. She climbed up in here. She's looking for so much snuggles. He's looking for snuggle buggles. What you doing? She's like, love me. Rub my belly. Rub my belly. Love me. Did I say skip? I didn't say skip. I hit resume.
どうですか、八神さん。
ん？あ、ありがとう。そっちのファイルは？
寺沢恵美さんの件がまとまってます。こっちも必要かと。
いや、それは。
大久保新平と話すなら見といた方がいいと思います。必要なければ置いといてください。後で片付けます。
See, yeah, that's basically something like that. That's good. I like that because that's kind of her offbeat way of saying, like, man up, you need to do this, you know. And Kaito, and that's what I'm saying, is like, that's what it should have been. Kaito or Genda coming in and doing it the first time instead of that kid. It would have been more emotional. It would have been like, not just, it wouldn't have just been emotional. It would have been their friends. It would have, like I said, Genda Sensei being the one to do it, or, you know, in talking about him, about the other lawyer. I can't remember his name at the moment, but the other lawyer, and like how like maybe he would have wanted him to also do it. Like maybe like he said, like maybe he would have like said, like, you know, he really was proud of you, or like or like, you know, he really was had respect for you for what you did, even though like he was always talking down to you or something like that. I don't know. And then you know, and then later Kaito would come in and be like, you know, I'm here for you, let's do this or something. And then like that was her thing, like right there, like I like, see, that was a good little moment right there. That was a good one.
事件当時26歳。2015年12月2日23時頃、火災後のアパート2階より焼死体となって発見。胸部には生前刺されたとみられる傷が15箇所確認。死因は失血死。気道にすすがないことから煙は吸っておらず、つまり火災前にすでに死亡していたとみられる。
Still stupid the cops didn't get her out. They didn't know she was dead.
警察は被害者の
They just left her body there.
大久保新平を現行犯逮捕。凶器とみられる出刃包丁からは同人の指紋が検出。
That's not what he was arrested in. That must have been an old photo.
また炎上中のアパートから消防隊に救出された際、大久保は酩酊状態にあった。
大久保さんは異常者じゃありません。6年前に暴力を振るってからは一滴もお酒を飲んでません。
しかし大久保は飲酒した記憶はなく、目が覚めたら火に包まれていたと供述。そして逮捕直後から一貫して無実を主張。
八神、どうしてもやんなきゃならねえのか、大久保との面会は。
ええ、そうみたいです。
See, I think this is bullshit. It should be the other way around. Ginda said he was going to help him, and that they'd be fighting back. Ginda should be the one encouraging him or telling him he needs to, encouraging him to do this, rather than, to fight, to face his past and fight, rather than to I know, like, normally he says, he doesn't fight, but he would like he wants to fight now. He'd be the one encouraging him to face his past and fight, rather than say this. Like, I think this is bad writing. I don't know where they're coming from. This is bad.
3年前の創薬センターの事件で大久保が本当に無実だったか、その真実を確かめるため。
そんなことがちょっと面会するだけでわかるのか。
さあ、でも彼とはいつかまた会わなきゃって気はしてたんです。大久保新平は確かに俺の弁護で無罪になりました。でも潔白を示す動かぬ証拠を見つけたわけでもなかった。あの無罪は大久保が黒とは言い切れないってだけの判決で、彼の周囲にとってそれは
Yes, that's the way court works. They have to prove your guilt. You don't have to prove your innocence. That's the way it should be.
住所も個人情報も晒されてました。
ああ。
彼はほとんど外出もできず、夜寝るときは毎晩睡眠薬に頼った。でも俺はそんなこと知らなかったし、興味も持たなかった。そして大久保はある日ずっとやめていた酒を飲んで恋人に包丁を。
お前はそれを自分のせいだと。
He's still acting like he did it though. Why are you still acting like he did it? This easily should be the mole. Like, you should, why aren't you doubting it at all yet? How is he still not doubting it? This is my problem. Of all the other things that you've been thinking of, you should be doubting it. You should be doubting it.
俺が殺人鬼を無罪にして、そのせいで寺沢恵美は殺された。
思い上がってんじゃねえぞ、若造。
Okay, there we go. There we go.
20年前、お前の親父さん、八神弁護士の最後の裁判、覚えてるよな。
ええ、忘れもしません。
親父さんが弁護したのは、15の女の子を乱暴して死なせたって犯人だった。日本中が死刑で当然だと声を荒げた中で、親父さんは無罪を勝ち取った。
Well, if you proved...
その時さっきだったマスコミの取材に八神弁護士はこう答えた。
If you proved him innocent...
弁護人の務めは真実の解明ではない。検察が人を裁くに足りる証拠を揃えたか、それを見極めるだけだってな。
Yes.
あの状況で毅然とそれを言ってのけた。そりゃすげえ勇気だ。
Just because the state...
そういう強さを見て、お前も弁護士に憧れたんじゃなかったか？
Just because the state puts you up on that defense side, just because they accuse you doesn't mean you are guilty. Doesn't mean you're guilty. Yes, I know there's plenty of people that go up there that are guilty. Okay? But that doesn't mean you're guilty. And I get it. And I get what's happening here. And it can feel sometimes like you're wrong. And, even the guilty deserve to have a defense. Because sometimes not the defense of innocence, right? But the defense that maybe they didn't do it. It's not as severe as they want to make it. Maybe it's not as bad. You know, maybe something, right? They want it. There's still some sort of defense usually that can be laid out for a lot of things. You know, not everything, but a lot of things. But that's the point. The defense is to prove, is to make the defense's job is to make the prosecution prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that they're guilty. They have to put up a wall, and you have to get over that fucking wall. If you can't get over that wall, then they're not guilty. That's the way it works. That's the way it should work. And yeah, and I like this. This right here, this scene right here, this is good. I don't know why he asked at the beginning why he had to go see him or whatever. But this right here all of a sudden is a turnaround, and I like this. This is good.
きっかけはそうでした。でもあの裁判の後、俺にもいろいろありましたから。ああ。親父が無罪にした被告人はもしかしたらやっぱり黒だったのかも。釈放後すぐ姿をくらました。
What? Dude.
すると
That's bullshit. If you were accused of raping a 15-year-old girl and killing her, I think it said, right? And then you were acquitted of it, you would, it doesn't matter who you are, you would go off the, you would, if you had even if you didn't have a family, you would be gone. You'd be gone. Because everyone would be after you. Everyone would be after you. Doesn't matter where. You wouldn't be able to get a job, you wouldn't be able to live, you wouldn't be able to get a house or a home, you wouldn't be able to rent, you wouldn't be able to anything. That alone, the people would be after to murder you. The cops, let alone what cops would do. Like if someone beat the shit out of you, if someone tried to kill you, they wouldn't try to help you. Nothing. You would be gone. You would be off the fucking grid. That's bullshit. That's the same thing as like, well, if you're innocent, you'll come in and answer our questions. If you're innocent, you have nothing to worry about. That's bullshit. Innocent people do actions that guilty people do all the time. Innocent people flee just like guilty people flee. Why? Because you don't get a fair shakedown. It's like guilty people run, innocent people run. Why do innocent people run away from the scene of a crime? Because they don't want to get accused. If something bad happens around them, why do they flee if they didn't do it? Right? You know, if all of a sudden alarms start going off or whatever, well, why'd you flee? Because I didn't do it. I want someone to say I did it. That's why. Like all the fucking time. That's the dumbest fucking logic. I hate that, but I get it. I get it. He's twice now suffered from a thing. His parents were murdered because of what happened, and because of that, like, I get it. I kind of get it. It can scar you, and that can lead to why your brain kind of leaps to that conclusion and stuff. Yeah. So. But still, it's still dumb reasoning. You need to fight back against that reasoning.
それを弁護してた親父へ。そして俺の両親は被害者だった少女の父親に。
And that's the thing. If the guy was innocent, okay? The guy was innocent, and that's another thing. The prosecutor should not have gone to court. They did not have the stuff to bring that guy down. If he was the rapist, and if he was the murderer, or if he was the rapist, and if it wasn't murder, if it was just a rapist, if they didn't have the stuff to bring him down, don't take him to court until you do. Okay? See, that's a bad prosecution. You did a bad job. Stop doing a bad job. But in other words, that's why this guy left. This would have been him. And it's not his fault. These are the actions of not the guy, of not the defendant. These are the actions of the other person. Okay? You have to hold the people accountable for their actions, and we know whose actions these are. This is the guy's father. He wanted someone to blame. He blamed the lawyer, and he blamed wrongly. Okay? He blamed wrong. Murdered innocent people. Everyone's got to be held accountable for their own actions.
それでも親父さんは弁護士として何も悪いことはしちゃいねえ。真実を見つけるのは俺らの義務じゃねえし、大体そんなもん神様でもねえ限り無理なんだよ。
Yes. They have to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt.
無罪にしたとき、弁護士がやれる限りの仕事はきっちり果たしてた。
And it was the prosecutor's fault that they didn't do a good job.
何も悪いことはしちゃいねえ。
And the reason you were able... I'll shut up.
でも、もし自分の弁護のせいで、その後知ってる女の子が。
But that's not your fault. It's not your actions. You gotta blame... I know, I get it. This is the thing, though, is this is something we need to teach all our children, we need to teach everybody. You gotta blame the person, you gotta try and blame the person for your actions. I know you can feel guilty, but you gotta put that blame on the person's actions. Either it is Shinpei's fault because he did it, or it's someone else's fault because they set Shinpei up for it. It's one of theirs fault. And you gotta fight to find out who it is. That's what you gotta do. Put that anger and that remorse and stuff for it.
焼き殺されたかもしれないとしたら。
何？
もし先生が俺の立場でもそれは正論だから悪いことはしてないから仕方ないことだって片付けられますか？
いい加減にしろ。お前はいつまで過去を引きずりゃ気が済むんだ。
Yeah, man.
生きてる限りですよ。
Then you're gonna live like you're gonna live in this is Jordan Peter says this we all make our own hells. He's gonna live in his own hell forever then if this is what he's gonna let it dominate him. I kind of know what he means. Like, yes, we can live by our you can learn from your mistakes, but he's living in his mistake. He's not learning from it.
八神だ。
星野です。大久保新平と面会できます。七福通り西のタクシー乗り場でいいですか？僕も今から向かいますんで。
わかった。ありがとう。お気遣いありがとうございました。
俺が言いてえことはもう全部言った。どうせ聞きやしねえって分かってんだがよ。
源田先生。
ん？
真実を神様だけに預けていたから俺は過去を引きずったままなんです。
I like that a lot better. That was good. I don't know why it started by him asking why if he visit, but I think it was because he was worried about him, and that I can understand. He was kind of worried about him, kind of like a father figure, like he knew it was going to be hard on him. But the rest of that, I enjoyed that quite a bit. I don't know why we had to have that beginning part where I can't remember his name, the red-haired guy, like told him off and stuff. Instead, I think we could have gotten to this point without that, to be honest. But that part right there is exactly what I was talking about. I think that's exactly what he needed. That was good. That was good writing right there. I like that a lot. That was great. And I understand, like, even though I'm sorry, I talked quite a bit through that. Like I know I'm just kind of saying like I was saying like you know, what we should do as people, and so blah, blah, blah. I still think his feelings, Yagami's feelings are understandable, is where he comes from. You know, he lost his parents because his dad defended somebody that might have been bad. Go potty puppy. Phew. Oh, that is a silent killer. She just farted. Oh, I'm so sorry. But oh gosh, that stinks. That stinks. She's laying up here next to me, and her butt's right next to my face, and it stinks. Well, I'll take you outside, but that stinks. Don't fart next to me, please. Go lay down, farting dog. Sorry. Jeez, she let a silent one. That was no. Oh God, that stinks. That stinks. Oh, sorry. It really does. But like, I understand where his feelings are coming from. The thing that happened with his dad, and then he tried to him becoming a lawyer and him wanting to protect whatever it was, either his desire to be like his father, or like to, because him losing his father and his rebellion, because of him being rebellious, and he kind of wanted to become like his father, then something like that, and then him feeling like he became, either made the same mistakes as his father, or something like that happened. Like he also protected someone that did something, like was a murderer also. Ended up killing someone also. Like Emmy ended up being murdered, just like his parents ended up getting murdered. Like I can understand. Like his parents were murdered. Emmy got killed. He feels like responsibility for both of them. He feels like something might have been different if he had acted differently in the past. He feels like it would have been different if he acted differently, well, in the past also, but also like with his parents, if he had done something differently, in the case with Shinpei and Emmy. So, and that takes a really big toll on you when it's people's lives, when it affects you so hard, so difficulty. I mean, when it's so, like, when it's death and stuff like that, and it's people you love or care about, and like when you're just a caring person too. Like, he seems to be like a caring, like he helps people. His job has been a defense lawyer, a detective, and even though he gets paid for it, but he needs to live. Like, his profession he's always been to try and help and aid people. So it's always been in that kind of human profession, and so he seems to care about people. And when you do, it hits you even more. So I can understand where he's coming from and like why he's having that difficulty. And I think they did do a good job. The acting was pretty good there too. I really liked it. Genda Sensei did you need to fucking snap out of this. Your job was to defend, and you did. Like, you can't. It wasn't you. You can't take. It's not. It wasn't you. Like, this is like, it's the same thing. You got to take responsibility for your own act. And what you did was right. What you did was the right thing, and what they did isn't the right thing. You weren't the one that murdered it. You didn't murder your parents. You didn't, your father did the right thing. He didn't murder the girl. Like, your dad didn't murder the girl. He did the right thing as a defense attorney. You didn't murder Emmy. Like you did the right thing. You need to snap out of this. Like, you can't carry around this burden, this weight, this cross forever. So that was really good. That got me. That was a good one. Like I said, just cut out the small section before about him getting berated by the other kid. I don't know why they did that. They could have just had, like I said, they could have just had like had him stop by the office or something. Like tell Hoshino, have Hoshino tell him to stop by and get the files or something, and have him sit there and read them or something. Like, I don't know, something else, or something. Like I said, like he decided he was deciding that he decided he needed to do it on his own after drinking or something. how is this done? We don't technically, like, this, okay, these main cases I'm confused with. So technically, this one, well, yeah, this one's done. I mean, like, there wasn't anything to know about it. The police caught this guy. This one, yes, is done, because, yes, we found out who he was, because we talked to Higashi and everything. So, yes, that one's done. Technically, the serial killings aren't done. We haven't caught the mole. Like, this one should not be done. Shitani murder is obviously not done. The Waku murder isn't. Why is the Torohishi... Why is this one done? I don't get it. Like, I don't understand why it's considered done. We haven't, like, it's tied to the mole. I guess that it... I wish these main cases were, like their ending part was, like, different. Like, we had more of a conclusion to their ending, I guess. But we don't? It's weird. Yeah, I really wish we had more of a conclusion to their ending. Instead, it's just like, oh, that one's done. So, alright, so I kind of got what I wanted there. So, yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. That was a good story bit right there. I thought that was really good acting, too. They got to kind of dress their acting chops down, so... alright, so I think I'm going to go ahead and end it here. That was a good bit. We ended that section... what is next? Get a taxi to the West Chichifuku Street. On West Chichifuku Street. It's lying somewhere in Kamurocho. I should look for him. Oh, he's just lying low somewhere. Oh right, that's the I know who that is. That is the fugitive. They said 50 million. I wonder if I'll actually get 50 million if I find him. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and end it here. I got what I wanted finally. That was a good bit. Still think it could have been executed a little bit better, or like how we got there was a little bit better. I would have preferred Kaito giving him that dress down, or the scene before a little different. I guess I don't think it's just a preference. I think dagnabbit, just fuck off. Just fuck off, okay? I think it's because of oh, I don't think it's because of. I think it I think it just would have been better writing. I think in the writing department, I think it would have been because of actual certain characters having better connections. That's why I think right there what they did with Gaida Sensei made more sense, or like how that went down was. But that's why I also think like Kaito, or yeah, having Kaito kind of give him that talk instead of the thief or something. But yeah, still I enjoyed that bit. So far, what's going on? A little bit more of like just info dumping here near the end. But we did a lot of the date stuff, and there was quite a few interesting There's quite a few interesting side case files that I found fun, so that was good. I will see you tomorrow. What file? What chapter are we on here? Let's see. Save. Chapter 9. I don't know how many chapters there are. I'll have to look it up. I know for sure there's at least 12. So I gotta imagine we're getting kind of close to the end. I'm not sure how close, but things have got to be closing in. So I'm very interested to see how these go. Oh, where are we here? Got 2,000 points. Boost EX gauge. Ooh, yeah, let's do that. There's new Kickstarter stuff. Cipher secrets, brains over brawn. Discover a pair of time-worn texts. Wildest dart-centric dreams come true. Invest in our campaign and still believe in miracles. Guess so. Alright. Cool. Alright. Yep. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. The next episode should be coming out tomorrow on YouTube also. And all that stuff. Thanks for putting up with my chitter-chatter over this. But I like kind of putting down my theories and ideas on some of the stuff also. But I also like talking about the like the story and the writing and all that kind of stuff. And so far, it's been really good. So far up to it, though, that was the only bit that kind of like I was just like, meh. But like they had, I guess they saved quite of the lore dumpy stuff till just now, where the Alzheimer's bit we could have. I guess we could have spread that out. They already did a lot of the Alzheimer's stuff. I don't know why they had to do another dump that with Hitori. I was okay with the talking with the girl. Talking with the girl. Talking with the guys at the place. But then again, like I said, we could just could have cut that bit out and just gone to straight to Genda Sensei. So. But that bit again, that was good. That was good. So I don't know. I can't just. I'll sing that bit's praises a whole bunch. And the stuff with the girlfriends and stuff have been going pretty well. I've been enjoying the dates. They add a nice little flair to it. That's why I want some more. I would like more side cases that include the characters. They did the side cases, including the girlfriends, have been nice. They've added a decent amount of characterization to them. So they don't just feel really flat, but having some more characterization to Kaito, which you get in the main story a bit, which is great, but I would like to have some optional side cases that have some fun leeway, or just some side cases with them would have been nice. Same thing with Hoshino and stuff like that. Side cases, like 3-4 side cases that just pertain to each of them, the kind of the B characters would have been cool. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get that. So, basically, the next, like this will be like I think it'll be like a solid B minus, and then hopefully Lost Judgment will kind of add on to that. This being but this being a new, like the first game in a new spin-off series of the Yakuza series. So even like it's a solid game, don't get me wrong, but then you kind of take a little, just a tad bit of a step down usually if you're kind of doing a little bit something new characters, new people, because you're always kind of starting to you're starting fresh, you're starting new, so there's always going to be maybe a little falter here or there. The rest of the formula they still got right so far, I think. But character-wise and stuff, and they're kind of getting who they want, getting them how they want and all that. Hopefully, Lost Judgment, when we get to the next game, we'll have the story moments we'll have it down a lot better. Hopefully, we'll have those moments really. We'll have those cinematic moments when the story gets going really well for each other. We'll have more of those Genda Sensei moments. Just now, we'll have more of the Kaido and Yagami moments together. Maybe we'll have some I don't know, Mafuyu and and him moments. I don't know, more moments like that where they're like good story bits where they're like talking about their past, or not just talking about their past, but you know, just like that with Genda Sensei. You know, just not just emotional, but just good bits, character moments between each other. So, all right, I'm gonna stop babbling now. I'm tired. That's why I'm babbling. So, you guys have a good one. I will hopefully see you tomorrow. I'm probably gonna be playing some of the Dragon game first. Century Age of Ashes. That'll be hopefully going up tomorrow. What we played today also on YouTube. So check that out. We had some people join us on the Discord today. Oh, we got new people coming. Bad guys in the background. I don't want them attacking me. We had some new people join us on the Discord. So you come on over to the Discord if you're hearing this. I greatly appreciate it. If you want to play any games with us. Century Age of Ashes is the new multiplayer, so that'd be cool if people want to play that. That'd be really fun. Of course, we got Battlefield. We've got Crash Bandicoot, Crash Team Racing. We've got Overwatch. Any of the games really that you see on my PlayStation. When you send a friend request, or any of the games that you see on my YouTube or Twitch highlights and stuff like that, I am totally up for that have multiplayer. I'm totally down for playing those. Ghost of Tsushima, I want to play some of the Legend stuff also. So if anyone wants to play that, if I'm streaming or anything like that, and you come in the stream and be like, hey, I'll give you a heads up or not, whether or not I can play. So basically, if I'm streaming something, if I've been streaming it only for like a half an hour or 20 minutes, I probably won't say yes or something like that. I'll probably want to stream for at least an hour. But once I get to a certain length, I'll probably be able to play. Otherwise, if I'm playing something like Overwatch or something like that, I'll invite you guys to it. But if you want to play something else, as long as I'm not playing with other people, I'll try and get things going. But otherwise, I can set up times. If people want to play a certain thing, I can definitely try and do stuff like weekend or something like that. But I want to try and get groups and start playing with people. Otherwise, I want to try and connect people together. So I'll make some rooms, some lobby rooms. That way, you can talk and text in general, but also then you can talk in lobbies and stuff like that. So that like if you want to play Crash Bandicoot together, you guys can go and talk in that channel, or you can meet other people that want to play Crash Bandicoot, or if you want to play Overwatch, or if you want to play if you ever want to play Ghost of Tsushima, Legends, something like that, then you can go in that channel, or just you can talk in general chat. But yeah, so we're trying to do that. So come over and join us. That way we can all play together, find certain games, find the games that if you don't have someone to play with, that way it's be helpful. And come hang out with us. All right, you have a good one. Bye bye now.